Hey everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where last time we took on more training missions over at the Arcanist Guild, learned a little bit about Satora, and got ourselves up to level 10 by completing the first round of the hunting log. The hunting log doesn't exactly give the most experience in the world, but it got us to level 10 pretty quickly, so I'm not gonna knock it. Today, now that we've gotten some basic training out of the way and we have this fancy new hat, it is time to pick up some work from Baderon and make some money to help support our family back in the 12th Wood. Baderon, proprietor of the Drowning Wench, wants you to lend a hand at Summerford Farms. Still in Limsa, are you, Satora? How'd you fancy a trip outside the city walls? I'd like you to visit an orchard by the name of Summerford Farms. Ever heard of the place? The owner, Stalewern, is an old mate of mine. He's got himself a crew of mostly reformed pirate types, if you can believe that, and has been trying to bring a bit of life back to the fields after the calamity ruined the soil. You mentioned needing another hand or two, and your name sprang to mind. I gave you a glowing recommendation, so make sure you work hard and impress the old bastard. You need directions? The place ain't hard to find. Just take the Zephyr Gate out of the city and follow the road northeast. Alright then, let's go ahead and make our way over to Summerford Farms. We're going to need to head out the Zephyr Gate, so that's to Middle Lenosia, and make a trek out to the northeast. We actually went just past Summerford when we were out doing our hunting for the hunting log, so... Unfortunately, this fog's going to make it a little bit harder to spot, but the fog's not too thick, so... But we were in the area, at least. Heading on to Middle Lenosia, we just head northeast as instructed. And Summerford Farms is going to be just up the path up here. Let's stick to the road for now. We can probably take most of these enemies. It looks like it's mostly just puck hatchlings, but I want to be safe. We gotta be safe. And the path takes us right where we need to go anyways. Right through the orchards just on the outskirts of the farm. I've got tons of orchards around here. Look at all these trees. And climbing the hill, we have an Aetheryte here at Summerford Farms. New Aetheryte? Absolutely immediately attuned with it. Can never have too many teleportation destinations. By learning the spell Teleport, you are now able to travel instantly between Aetherytes to which you are attuned. Access the teleportation menu by selecting Teleport under Travel from the main menu. Unlike other spells, Teleport does not require MP to cast and instead uses a type of naturally regenerating spiritual energy. A small fee of gil, however, must be paid to the keepers of the Aetheryte so that they can maintain the crystals and defend them from those who would see them destroyed. The fee varies depending on the travel distance and the remoteness of the Aetheryte location. Registering an Aetheryte as a favorite destination will reduce the amount of guild required to travel there. Up to 3 favorite destinations can be registered at any one time. Alright, let's go ahead and set this as a favored destination so we can teleport here cheaply. Setting a favored destination specifically reduces the cost of teleportation by half. Instead of the base cost being 100 gil, it is now 50 gil. Similarly, if we were to set Limsa Lominsa as a favored destination, it would be what, 72, 73 gil to get there instead of 145? But it's our return location, so I'm not going to waste a favorite destination on it. And of course, once you've set all 3 of your favorite destinations, you can always get rid of one and set it somewhere else if you want. There's no harm in doing that, no penalties. You can only just have up to a max of 3 at a time. Or if you've installed the Final Fantasy XIV Companion app, apparently you can have up to 4 at a time as favorite destinations, which I found out on accident. So that's neat. Anyways, hello Stalewern, I was sent to help you out. Ah, you must be the adventurer Baderon promised to send along. Sator Lancy, wasn't it? You honored his word, so that's a good start. I'm Stalewern, the old bastard as Baderon likely described me, and this here is my humble orchard. A good number of the lads and lasses working here once terrorized the high seas. And if you're wondering why I employ these scrags, well, they used to be crew my pirate ship. But the calamity did for our ship like it did so many others, and I was sore wounded into the bargain. I had to feed myself and my crew somehow, and Admiral Merlwyb's initiative to get us landlocked buccaneers working the field seemed too fine an offer to refuse. Well, it turns out you can take the pirate away from the sea, but you can't take the sea away from the pirate. A lot of my blokes just never took to tending the soil, you see. And unfortunately, the botanists I called in to train them have been wringing their hands in black despair. With so much work piling up, I need a tougher soul like you to step in and help where it's needed. Alright, well, I am here to do whatever I can to help. Let's see, you've got an offer of leathered thigh boots, or altered thigh boots. The altered thigh boots are for Disciples of War. We are a magic caster, so we cannot wear those. Too heavy for us, I suppose. So let's see, same defense, but has a small boost to intelligence and mind, so that sounds worthwhile. You know, I should probably go over what some of those stats do. I mentioned that they're the various bonuses that make you a bit stronger, but what specifically do they all do? Well, strength increases the physical damage dealt by nearly every single class and job in the game. Dexterity increases the physical range damage and damage dealt by rogues' arms. And Vitality affects maximum HP. Intelligence affects your magic potency when your roll is DPS. And Mind affects your healing magic potency. It also affects magic potency when your roll is healer. So, basically any physical combat class is going to use strength. Rogues are going to use dexterity. Magic DPS, magic damage dealers, are going to use intelligence. And healers are going to use mind. And then everyone uses vitality to determine their max HP. We've also got critical hit rate, determination, which is the damage dealt by both physical and magic attacks, as well as the amount of HP restored by healing spells, direct hit rate, your defenses, your potencies for your magics. I believe these abilities these stats down here are going to be determined primarily by what you have up here. Skill speed you can affect with your gear, which is basically higher skill speed means your global cooldowns will be actually a little bit shorter, a little bit faster. Already we can see that effect slightly. Our global cooldowns, at some point, I believe last episode, had a cast time of 2.49 seconds rather than 2.5. As you get to a higher skill speed, or equivalently, as you get to a higher spell speed, your attacks will actually go up slightly faster. Not too much, because if it was too much it would be overpowered, but it is worth buffing these up just a little bit. And then we also have down here tenacity, which is the amount of physical and magic damage dealt and received, as well as HP restored. And it only applies to tank, it looks like. So tenacity is your a buff stat for tanks. And piety affects how fast you regenerate MP, and that is for healers only. There are a lot of stats here. Oh gosh, you can affect most of them with your gear. Worth taking a look at what they do, and as you're trying to optimize your gear, picking out what will increase the stats you need the most for your particular combat class. For us, since we're playing as magic DPS, intelligence is going to be our focus, and well, hey, those altered leather thigh boots. Intelligence boost. How wonderful. Anyways, this is going to be one of those rare cases where we do 2 main scenario quests in an episode, so Stalewern, What do you got for us next? Stalewern, owner of Summerford Farms, wishes to inspect your equipment and thereby gauge your readiness for the tasks he has in mind. I have a mind to set you a task, Lancy, but before I do, I need to be sure you're properly kitted out. Pirates don't care to parley with dandies, you understand. It might well be that the ones here have traded in their cutlasses for coulters, but they're still rogues at heart. I know a solid set of gear when I see it. Come back when you think you're more suitably equipped. Alright, we need to have an average item level of 5 or higher. Good news! Because I recommended we pick up the hats from the level 5 Arcanist quest, we have an average item level of 5. You can view, equip, and remove gear by selecting character under character from the main menu. To equip an item, first select the desired slot. This will open your armory chest from which you can select the item you wish to equip. Finally, from the sub-command menu, select equip to put on the gear. Or you can just do what I do and use recommended gear unless you're a tank. Stalewern, good news, I have plenty good armor. See, I put a hat on. That's enough, right? Let's have a look at you, shall we? Oh-ho, as long as you're this well covered, I won't feel any guilt throwing you to the sharks. Erstwhile buccaneers are an ornery lot. They rage in love for the sea and care little for the laws of the land. But they respect strength, and by the looks of you, I'd say you'll have little trouble getting their attention. Well, that's nice. And as a bonus, he offers us a leather grimoire, which we already got from the Arcanist level 5 quest. Well, the offer's appreciated, but I'll be taking the Allegan bronze piece. I'll go ahead and sell that at the market at some point. And that's why we're doing 2 main scenario quests today. So next time on Final Fantasy XIV, finally a bit of a shorter one, we'll be talking to Stalewern in order to find out what kind of jobs he has in mind for us here at Summerford Farms. I love the fog, really lets you get a good view of how pretty this area is. I'll see everyone next time for that.